Good morning, dear students, or whatever time you're watching this video. I trust your day is going well. On today's discussion on the course Cognitive Psychology, we are going to be talking about the implications of Lecture 1 to 5 for the development of a Nigerian child. So, we are going to be summing up Lecture 1 to 5 and talking about how it affects the development of a Nigerian child or even children in general. Today, we will talk about how key mental processes shape the growth of the Nigerian child as the foundation of cognitive development, as the engines of learning, as the processes that help us make sense of the world, as the keys to learning and growth, and as the bridge between logic and imagination. And yes, we are drawing closer and closer to the end of this tutorial or this lesson. Let's move on. The introduction. Children's development is influenced by several cognitive processes that shape their learning, reasoning, and social interactions. Understanding how these cognitive processes, which are the information processing model, remember we treated that in lecture 2, and memory too, we treated that in lecture 2, mental representations, concept formation, thinking, problem solving, we treated those in lecture 3. We treated decision making and judgment in lecture 4 and creativity in lecture 5. So we are going to be looking at how these cognitive processes contribute to child development and how it helps parents, educators, and caregivers support children's growth more effectively. Let's continue. The foundation for cognitive development. As the core of cognitive development, at the core of cognitive development are mental representations and concept formation. This means that cognitive mental representations and concept formations are like the very, very beginning. They are very essential for foundation. These processes allow children to build an understanding of their world. Mental processes help children form images of people, objects, and events, which are crucial for memory and imagination. Concept formation enables children to categorize information, making learning more structured and efficient. Remember, when we're talking about mental representations, we said that they help us clarify how we think and process information. And we mentioned some types. We mentioned imagery. Under imagery, we talked about the visual imagery and the other senses, the auditory, the kinesthetic, and olfactory senses. We also said that imagery plays a significant role in our creative thinking. So these mental representations help children to form images of people, objects, and events. And it is very, very crucial for memory and imagination. That is why when children are taught in school with objects, let's say you want to teach them multiplication and you use certain objects. Let's say you bring in two circular objects and you say, oh, one of this and one of these gives you two of these and two of that gives you 4. That creates an image in their head and it helps them remember. Even when they are alone, they're able to remember, okay, my teacher said 2 of this and 2 of this will give me this. So they recollect what you teach them, and it's easier for them to understand the things around them. Concept formation enables children to categorize information, making learning more structured and efficient. We said concept formation is about putting things that are similar together. So when a teacher is teaching pupils about, let's say, fruits, this song we usually sing, pawpaw is a type of fruit or a kind of fruit, and the teacher also tells them that, oh, mango is also a type of fruit. They will say, oh, the teacher taught us this song and she's also saying mango is a fruit. So we can say mango and pawpaw are kinds of fruits. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So it helps them to group information together, and it avoids clusters in their head, making learning more structured and efficient. Now we're going to talk about memory. Memory here is the key to learning and growth. Memory ties all cognitive processes together by storing past experiences and knowledge. Believe me, memory is very, very important, because if children do not remember what they are taught, it would be very difficult for them to use it for thinking or reasoning, or to solve mathematical problems, or remember how to use English vocabulary and other things. Short-term memory helps children hold and manipulate information in the moment. Remember, we talked about the short-term memory in lecture 2, and we said it's also the working memory, and information is held there for 20 to 30 seconds. The working memory supports problem solving and complex thinking, because it has to do with the moment, the now. Long-term memory allows them to retain knowledge for future use. We said information maintained or rehearsed up to the long-term memory is or can be kept for a longer period of time, even for a lifetime. So it helps children to retain knowledge for future use. Without memory, children would struggle to learn from experience, making it essential for academic and social success. Memory cannot be done away with. It is very, very important. And as children grow, it helps them to make sense of the world around them, and help them to learn from experiences and make sense of what they are taught in school. Thinking, learning, and problem solving, the engines of learning. Once children develop mental representations and concepts, they begin to think, reason, and solve problems, which are crucial for everyday challenges. Very, very important. Thinking allows children to explore new ideas and form logical connections. Reasoning helps them analyze situations, making comparisons, and draw conclusions. Problem solving teaches them how to navigate obstacles, whether academic or social. These skills do not only enhance learning, but also build confidence and independence in decision making. So these particular skills are also very, very important, because thinking allows children to explore ideas. When you're able to think, when you think, you're able to look at things better, look at things from another perspective, and form connections between concepts. When you reason, you're able to draw conclusions and make comparisons between concepts. Problem solving, when you want to solve problems, or when you solve problems, it teaches you how to navigate future obstacles, even when it's not academic. It could also be social obstacles, it could be environmental obstacles, and many more. And these skills also build confidence and independence in decision making. When a child thinks, when a child is able to reason, when a child is able to solve problem as little as he or she is, the person is confident in themselves. They are confident that, okay, I can think for myself. And even when they of course, we are humans and we make mistakes, but they are confident that I am able to think, reason, solve problems. So there are little things I can do for myself, and I can make very effective decisions. Decision making, judgment, and information processing, making sense of the world. As children interact with the environment, they must make decisions and process information efficiently. I said that earlier. Decision making and judgment help children evaluate situations, consider consequences, and make responsible choices. A child actually is not too young to make certain decisions. I'm not talking about very, very important decisions. I'm talking about things like doing their assignments early, reading the reading what the teacher asks them to read in school, things like that. Very, very little things. They can reason that if I don't read this, when I get to school tomorrow and my teacher asks me, I won't be able to answer and I might be punished. Little, little things like that. Through decision making and judgment, children are able to consider consequences and make responsible choices. The information processing model explains how humans take in, restore, and retrieve information, similar to a computer. This process is key to learning, problem solving, and memory formation. Strong decision making and information processing skills lead to better self regulation, planning, and academic success. And the last is creativity, the bridge between logic and imagination. While thinking and problem solving rely on logic, creativity allows for innovation and self expression. It encourages flexible thinking, which improves problem solving abilities. It boosts emotional resilience by providing an outlet for self expression. It enhances social skills through imaginative play and storytelling. We know that in primary schools today, or many primary schools, if not all, they are always taught this creative art thing. Some schools even teach the pupils how to play certain instruments, not just drawing. So it's very important that educators inculcate creativity in the school curriculum so that children are able to express themselves even in other ways. It's not just when it has to do with creativity. And they believe that, okay, if I can do this, then I can do this. If I can draw this, then I should be able to think creatively and do some other things. Creativity is also very important. It complements logical thinking, making children more adaptable, confident, and open to new ideas. This lecture or this today's class is quite short because of the topic we are treating. So before we treat the conclusion and the test, let's just go back and revise. We said that mental representations and concept formation are the very, very foundation. Mental representation helps children to form images of people, objects, and events, and it's crucial for memory and imagination. And we said concept formation helps them to group certain concepts. It helps them to categorize information, and it makes learning more efficient. We said memory ties all the other mental processes because it helps in storing past experiences and knowledge. We said the short-term memory helps children hold and manipulate information in the moment, and the long-term memory allows them to retain knowledge for future use. We said that thinking allows children to explore new ideas and form logical connections. We said reasoning helps them to analyze situations, make comparison between concepts, and draw reasonable conclusions. We said problem solving teaches them how to navigate obstacles in their environments, academic obstacles, social obstacles, in their relationship with their friends, and other aspects. We said these skills are not only necessary for learning, but they also help to build confidence and in the children, and it helps the children to become independent in their decision making. As children interact with their environment, they make decisions and process information efficiently. Decision making helps children evaluate situations, consider consequences, and make reasonable choices. The information processing model is key to learning, problem solving, and memory formation. Strong decision making and information processing skills lead to better self control, planning, and academic success. And creativity, we said it encourages flexible thinking. Children are able to think outside the box, even in their very little way. it boosts their confidence, emotional resilience, it enhances their social skills through imaginative play and storytelling. That is why in some primary schools, children are allowed to engage in activities like play or storytelling. They are allowed to act little dramas, and they are told stories. Creativity complements logical thinking. It makes children more adaptable, confident. Creativity builds confidence, and it opens up their mind to new ideas. The conclusion: cognitive development is interconnected in nature. Each of these cognitive processes reinforces the others in child's development. This means that all the cognitive processes that we treated earlier are interconnected and they are interdependent. One helps the other. Memory helps with reasoning, thinking, and it influences decision making. Creativity enhances problem solving, and concept formation organizes learning. By supporting these skills holistically, parents and educators can help children become well rounded, independent, and capable individuals. It is very important that schools include these cognitive processes in their curriculum so that children get an all-round formation. And not excluding the parents can also in their little way help children in their reasoning, in their thinking. Tell them, oh, when you want to do this, even things as small as tying their shoelace, you can tell them, oh, you can do it this way. You're not supposed to put your left slippers on the right foot. You're supposed to use your right hand. Although yes, we have left-handed children, please don't force left-handed children to use their right hand. It's they are special, so encourage them. Make sure you write legibly, things like that. It helps to make the children more it helps to make them more organized in their daily living. Let's treat the test together. Which type of memory helps children hold and manipulate information in the moment? The answer to this is the short-term memory. The short-term memory helps children hold and manipulate information in the moment. When you come across questions like this, always look out for in the moment or in the future, because you're likely to mix them up. The short-term memory helps children hold and manipulate information in the moment, in the present, and long-term memory helps children to hold information, helps to store knowledge for future use and even for a lifetime. The information processing model likens the human brain to a computer. The answer is computer. We learned that the information processing model posits that just as a computer can get input and give output, the brain can also get information and give out the corresponding behavior. The ability to make comparisons and draw conclusions is an aspect of reasoning. We said reasoning helps children to make comparisons and draw conclusions. Which cognitive process allows children to classify and organize information? The answer is concept formation. Concept formation allows children to classify and organize information or concepts, and it makes learning more efficient. The last question: the process that involves evaluating solutions and making responsible choices is called decision making. Decision making is a cognitive process that involves evaluating solutions and making responsible choices. Remember, when you want to make a decision, you must have 2 or more options to choose from, so that your decision making process will be effective. And when making your decision, you do not only consider logic, you also consider emotional and social factors. Thank you very much for joining today's class. As always, I hope you learned a thing or two. See you in the next class. Thank you.